What's up, guys? It's your girl Sugar Sade, back again with another video. Thanks for tuning in. So today, I'm going to be telling you guys about skills that you need to work in psych, because you need skills. Because people are going to tell you you don't need skills to work in psych, but you do. They're just different skills than you would need in med-surg. But let's get into this video. Skill number one that you need, and that you actually just need in general as a nurse, but especially as a psych nurse, and that is to be a good communicator. Basic, right? But it's so true. Everything we do in psych is based on communication. We talk to the patients. We assess their mentality. What's going on with them today? Are they suicidal? Are they homicidal? Are they hearing voices? Are they seeing things that aren't there? Different coping mechanisms that they may be having, different triggers. You have to be able to communicate not only with the patient, but with doctors as well. You have to be able to pick up that phone when there's an emergency situation and the patient needs some emergency medication, call that doctor or send a page saying, hey, patient blah, blah, blah is doing this, this, and that. They have a past medical history of this, this, and that. They got this medication last about this many minutes, hours, seconds ago. And be able to give a good SBAR and overall report to that doctor so they can know what to order that patient that is going to be safe and effective to treat whatever is going on with them. Number two, you got to be a good teacher. As not only a psych nurse, but a nurse in general, but especially a psych nurse, because how can a patient recover from anything if they don't fully understand what is wrong with them, what is going on with them, what they are struggling with? We have to educate patients not only on their medications and compliance with medication, especially a lot of patients in psych struggle with compliance because most psych medications take at least 4 to 6 weeks to see an effect. And a patient will take it for a week and be like, I don't feel anything. Nothing has changed, so I'm not going to take this medication. And it's our job to educate that patient that, hey, let's try this out for at least a month to a month and a half, because that is how long it takes for you to even feel the slightest effect. One. Also, we have to be able to educate patients on coping mechanisms, how to deal with their problems that they may have. They may have a labile mood and fly off the handle at the smallest things. We got to teach them breathing techniques. We have to teach them grounding techniques. Someone who has panic attacks, we have to teach them grounding techniques to help with their condition and help them function in society as a normal person, right? We got to teach them about their different symptoms so they can recognize when they are in a manic episode, when they are experiencing exacerbations, how to differentiate from what is a hallucination or a delusion and what is real. We have to educate on all of that things, and you have to be very good at it, at doing it in simple terms to where an average person can understand it. You have to be observant, you have to be vigilant, you have to pay attention to detail. So 3 things you need to be excellent at when working in psych, because it is so unpredictable, because there is a lot of manipulation that goes on. For various factors, you need to be able to have those skills. Number 3, your assessment skills need to be on point, because we have a lot of malingering that goes on in psych, a lot of manipulation, a lot of people that fake symptoms that are homeless just to have a bed at night, just to get off a charge, or for various reasons, people fake things, make things up. So you need to be really good at knowing when it's real or fake, because you don't want to be that nurse that ignored some chest pain and the patient really had a heart attack and died, or a patient that's saying they can't breathe or something and they really end up dying because you thought that they were faking. So your assessment skills need to be A1. Next, as a psych nurse, a really top skill that you really need to have is composure and control of your mood. You cannot be a hothead and work in psych. Trust me, you're gonna get in some trouble or you're just going to be miserable. So you need to be a very level-headed, very patient. Next, you need to be an excellent de-escalator. That is one of our main skills that we use on a daily basis, because in psych, we don't, especially in this day and age, we don't really believe in just, taking down patients and yelling at them and barking orders at them. to forcing them to behave or act a certain way. We need to be able to talk well with the patient, understand where they're coming from, understand where the issue lies, and bring them from a level that's up here to a level that's here, and that's appropriate, and that is well controlled, and is gonna be the most effective. But going off of that previous statement, we do have the skill to do professional holds on patients, to how to restrain a patient safely, comfortably, and humanely if a patient does become a danger to themselves or others. As a last result, we do that, and you will be taught how to do that as well. Next, although we don't do that many medical skills in psych, here are a few that you really need to be good at, and that is IM injections. We do IM injections all the time. You need to know what's a safe amount to put in certain areas. You need to know how to do that. Also, blood draws. We do blood draws because we have to get labs on every single patient that comes in to make sure that not only they're stable, but we also are checking things like Depakote levels, lithium levels of their medication. Also, you need to be, like any other nurse, BLS certified, know how to do CPR, because we have a lot of drug addict patients that are detoxing, a lot of alcoholic patients. That means they can have, or just patients that just don't take care of themselves. A patient can code anytime, and you are the person that is going to be required to do, to resuscitate them, to do the CPR on them. So you need to keep those skills strong. Also, because of those previous things that I mentioned about drugs and alcohol and medications being out of whack, you need to know how to deal with seizures. I've seen a lot of seizures. You need to know the appropriate steps to do. You need to know when a seizure becomes unsafe. You need to know to turn the patient on their side if they are vomiting, or even if they're not. You need to know to put the patient down on the lowest surface, protect their head, loosen any restrictive clothing, apply blow-by oxygen if they need it, if their O2 sat goes too low. All of those things you will experience in psych. Next skill is the skill of just being compassionate. It's so important, so overlooked, but it's very important in psych because these patients have not experienced compassion a lot of the time in their lives, not from family, not from strangers, and not from the medical field. So let's be that person to provide that compassion to them for once, give them a bit of understanding, because we should, as a psych nurse, understand why they are the way they are, and understand that it's not personal, intentional, it's just unmanaged symptoms. So us as the medical professionals need to provide that compassion to the patient. You also have to be extremely, extremely good at multitasking when you work in psych, because you can get derailed so easily, especially if you have like a manic patient, a psychotic patient, a violent patient, a patient that's just very needy. And you're over here trying to complete one task with one patient, and another patient might be barging in. You might need to pass meds for this patient, but this patient is over here trying to start a fight with somebody or trying to AWOL and escape the building. You may need to chart while somebody is literally screaming and talking nonsense right in front of your desk because they're that manic and they're just literally off the wall talking about nonsense, talking like this, saying, God, is he real? Is he not? Blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah, just talking nonsense. And sometimes it's hard to even think when a patient is doing that in such close proximity to you, but you got to be able to do it. Working in psych, you have to be adaptable. Just working in the medical field, you have to be adaptable. We're learning every day, and things and policies get changed all the time, and you have to be able to adapt to these new policies. Also, when you work in psych, like I said before, you float to different areas. You might float to geriatrics. You might float to the highest acuity unit with the psychotic, violent patients. You might float to adolescents where things are completely different, and you have to be able to adapt to every single difference over time to be a good psych nurse. If you've made it this far, go ahead and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos like this. Also, I would love to for you to leave a comment down below and hear what you guys have to say. What skills do you think you might need to work in psych? Or if you work in psych, what skills did I leave out? And last but not least, you gotta be confident to work in psych. I don't say that because people always are like, oh my gosh, that's so scary. You work in psych. You're so nice, so you're so sweet though. How do you do that? Like, don't you have to be tough? No, you don't have to be tough. If that's your style and you are a tough person, I know nurses that's how they get stuff done. They're very tough and stern, and patients may respond to that a certain way, good or bad, depending on the patient and depending on the delivery. And then there are some people, you can still be sweet, nice person, and you talk to a patient a different way, and you approach them a different way. You still set limits and you set boundaries, but you may talk to them in, differently, softer, whatever may work for you. But whatever you do, you need to be confident. Do not try to be something that you are not. If you are not a tough person, don't go in there trying to act tough, because they can sniff that out and they're going to call you on your BS, and you're going to get embarrassed or you're going to get hurt. That's just the truth. Be true to yourself. Go in there confident. If you're going in there to give an IM injection to a patient that is being violent and you have to give them, the shot in the glutes, if you go in there, commit. Do not go in there timid and scared, because if you go in there like that, somebody's going to get hurt. You're going in there with a mission, complete the mission, get out. And that's all I have for you guys. Hope this video was informative and you guys learned something. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.